Well, hey everybody. I just wanted to add a little addendum to the video that I put up earlier about Nord Stream, and that is on privateering because I want you to understand the thought and position I'm coming from. It's not necessarily that American forces, that is, government forces, military, sabotage this. It's not necessarily that the Germans or some other European nation did, or the Russians for that matter. Although that's a possibility, I doubt that that's a reality because, well, it's a leverage tool, right? It's a means to tell Europe, hey, we have power and control over you by supplying you gas and oil. Now that hasn't been going on recently, but let's get back to the matter at hand that I want to talk about, and that is privateering. Mercs, guys who are operators, former operators, guys who basically love warfare, or the military, and it's very easy to love those things. I love all those things. I actually just don't actually want to hurt people or want people to be hurt, and I have a religious conviction against that, at least at my age now today. So the just the reality of it is, folks, is there is a lot of people that will get in the military. They might start off somewhere in like Australia, right? And they get into the Australian Special Forces. And then they decide to get out and go to the British Special Forces. They become SAS or British Commando or something like that. And then they spend some time there and they're like, this was cool. I trained with those Americans a while back. I want to go in the American military. And they do. And then so you have someone who has like a 16 or 20-year career and they get out and it's all they know. And then they're like, well, what do I do now? Well, they made all these connections over the years. And guess who those connections are? Well, they're the companies that run private security work. And these are abundant, especially EP work, Exec Protect. And a lot of these guys that do EP are also former SF folks, Special Forces, those who, not just in America, but in many other nations, worked, right? And so this becomes a business. There's money there. And as that goes along, and they are within these companies, they do things like this. They get hired for these clandestine things. They still have secret clearances within the government, and then they go along and they carry these things out. Now, if you want an example of this, of how these things work to some degree that is fiction, but also a bit of a reality, look into Jack Carr's terminal list. That is not far from the reality, folks. And I don't mean just watch the Amazon show. The Amazon show is great. I enjoyed it. I've actually watched it twice. I liked it so much, I wanted to watch it again and make sure I didn't miss anything. But I'm not in the habit of reading novelizations very often, so I haven't read the book. I can't tell you how good it is, but apparently it was good enough they wanted to make a TV series out of it. The truth in what probably has happened is somebody was hired, probably wasn't from a government, it probably was from an NGO, and that NGO is probably part of a bigger cabal trying to pull strings behind the scenes to change the international order. That is most likely the reality. And if you think that that is a far off fantasy, well, good luck, my friend. Good luck remaining a naive individual in this world, because things seem to be getting very, very, very serious, very grave. And some of you might think, well, but Bill, how does this really affect me? Oh, there'll be a war over there, blah, blah, blah. It's going to affect you when your energy prices are 80% of your income. It's going to affect you when there's food shortages and supplies. Mind you, most Westerners, Europe, America, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, we're all fat. We're all fat as hell. Eat way too much sugar. But, we're also told to eat that sugar. That's a whole other side issue. But I wanted to make sure that this is well understood, that this isn't necessarily military actors Probably former military. It's not necessarily CIA or intelligence agencies. It is very likely that this is a privateer NGO group, might be very, very small. Very, very small. Think Splinter Cell, the video game, right? You think Tom Clancy didn't know actual things? That he didn't have a great idea about how things actually worked? Um, One of the things with Tom Clancy was actually that like they couldn't figure out how he figured out all the things that are the reality. Um, yeah, yeah. Things are not what they appear, and they're not as simple as you might believe them to be. And I doubt an official military force, SF, Navy SEALs, Marine Raiders, um, any of that did any of this. Privateers is your answer. It's hard to say what nation they might be from, but it's probably highly trusted men who believe in this greater cause and have been in the system for a long time. That's just an opinion. I don't know the truth. Maybe one day it'll come out. I'm sure there'll be an official truth, an official story that has nothing to do with reality sometime in the future. But I guess we'll hear it then, and I'll be called a conspiracy theorist, so whatever. Hey guys, it's been All Minus One. My name is Bill, and I wish you all well.